30 minutes every day and nothing is changing. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. A lot of people walk faithfully, check off 8 to 10,000 steps, and then get crushed when the mirror and the waistband don't budge. The good news is that it's not willpower you're missing. It's a few small technical fixes. Today, you'll learn exactly how to turn an ordinary walk into a fat loss tool you can actually stick with. I keep this simple and research-based, and I'll tell you what the evidence says in plain English as we go. This is educational content to help you act smarter with your own routine. For medical decisions, especially if you have heart, joint, or metabolic issues, talk to your clinician. First, intensity calibration. The biggest mistake is treating any walk as a workout. Casual strolling is fantastic for health and mood, but fat loss responds best when part of your walking time consistently hits a true moderate intensity. The easiest way to gauge that is the talk test. You can talk in full sentences, but you'd rather not sing. That target lines up with what exercise scientists call moderate effort. The World Health Organization's guidelines point to this middle zone as the heart of the health benefits, and it's the same effort zone used in most large studies on weight and metabolic health. According to the CDC's summary of U.S. guidelines, adults should aim for at least 150 to 300 minutes a week of moderate intensity activity. For body composition change, getting toward the upper end of that range is usually more productive. But how do I know I'm really at moderate? Here are 3 options, from no tech to some tech. First, perceived exertion. On a 0 to 10 scale, land around 5 to 6. Breathing deeper, comfortable, but purposeful. Second, cadence. Research teams studying walking intensity often use steps per minute as a simple marker, and a practical rule of thumb is about 100 to 120 steps per minute for most adults. If you can hear your footfalls landing in a steady, quick rhythm, think of a song around 100 to 120 beats per minute, you're probably there. Clinicians at places like the Cleveland Clinic often teach the same brisk enough that you can talk, not sing, cue, and mention the 100+ steps per minute ballpark for many people. Third, heart rate. If you know your usual resting and maximum heart rate, moderate effort often falls somewhere around 60 to 75% of your personal maximum. You don't need to chase exact numbers. Use them as a cross-check. If 2 of those 3 indicators agree, talk test, cadence, or heart rate, you're dialed in. Common mistakes here: walking with a friend and dropping the pace to match conversation, pausing too often for texts or photos so your heart rate never stays up, or choosing dead-flat routes that keep you coasting. The fix is to make brisk blocks sacred. Build in 20 to 30-minute segments where you maintain that talk test effort without long stops. If your route has natural interruptions, traffic lights, crosswalks, use gentle hills or an out-and-back path in a park so you can keep that steady rhythm. If you use a wearable, let it guide you on heart rate and cadence, but don't let it overrule your body. Studies from Stanford-affiliated teams have shown calorie estimates on wrist devices can be pretty inaccurate, so treat those calorie numbers as entertainment, not nutrition advice. Next, dose and progression. The second big mistake is thinking steps alone guarantee progress. Steps are a great move more metric, but steps don't tell you if the work was easy or brisk. For fat loss, 2 dials matter: total weekly minutes and how much of that time landed in the brisk zone. Health organizations agree that 150 minutes per week is the minimum for general benefits. If you're primarily targeting fat loss through walking, most people do better when they accumulate around 250 to 300 minutes a week at a moderate pace, or blend moderate with short bursts of faster walking. That doesn't mean punishing marathons. It means organizing your week. Try this. Keep your everyday background steps, then lock in at least 3 quality walks of 25 to 35 minutes at that talk test intensity. Surround those with easy, shorter walks for recovery and mental clarity. Progression is where stalled results reignite. A simple rule many coaches borrow from clinical exercise science is bumping one variable about 10% per week, either total minutes, average brisk pace, or terrain challenge, but not all three at once. For example, if you did 180 brisk minutes this week, aim for approximately 200 next week, or keep the minutes steady and sprinkle in 3 short surges during a 25-minute walk. Every 5 minutes, walk 45 to 60 seconds, just a little faster, enough to notice your breathing rise, then return to your brisk rhythm. Research groups studying intervals have shown that these short, controlled pace surges improve cardiovascular fitness and energy expenditure without wrecking your legs. Another progression tool is terrain. Add a few gentle hills or set the treadmill to a 1 to 3% incline. Even a slight grade increases muscular demand and calorie burn at the same speed. Avoid the weekend warrior trap, cramming 2 giant walks on Saturday and Sunday and doing almost nothing Monday through Friday. Those big sessions feel productive, but can spike soreness and hunger, and then the rest of the week quietly slips sedentary. Your body tends to respond best to frequent, manageable doses. And avoid doing the identical route at the identical pace forever. Your body adapts efficiently. Small, deliberate changes, new loop, subtle incline, different shoes if yours are worn, nudge progress forward without beating you up. Third, support systems. This is where many walkers accidentally erase their hard work. After a long walk, appetite often rises. If you trust the watch that says you burned 700 calories, you might earn a pastry and a giant latte that blow past the real cost of the walk by a wide margin. Independent testing out of Stanford has shown those energy expenditure readouts can be off by hundreds of calories, so assume the device is optimistic and play offense with simple routines. A glass of water and a piece of fruit 20 to 30 minutes before you walk can curb "I'm starving" choices later. After walking, a protein-rich snack plus fiber, think Greek yogurt with berries or eggs and a slice of whole-grain toast, helps you feel satisfied. Scientists who study weight management often recommend protein intakes around 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight per day during fat loss phases to better preserve muscle. You don't need a shaker cup to hit that. Just anchor each meal around a source: fish, poultry, tofu, beans, eggs, dairy, or lean meats. Protecting muscle isn't optional. It's the engine that keeps your metabolism humming as you get leaner. Organizations like the WHO and ACSM encourage muscle strengthening activity at least twice a week. For walkers, 2 tiny strength add-ons can be enough. 10 minutes after 2 of your walks, bodyweight squats, slow calf raises, a split squat hold, a push-up variation against a counter, and a simple row with a band. That's it. The goal isn't soreness. It's a consistent signal to keep muscle while your walking handles most of the calorie burn and cardiovascular benefits. Strength minutes are short, but they pay off where it counts. Easier hills, fewer aches, better posture, and better odds of maintaining a healthy resting metabolic rate while you lean out. Sleep and stress quietly run the show. Harvard-affiliated reviews have pointed out that short sleep can tilt appetite hormones, ghrelin and leptin, toward more hunger and more snacking, especially on high-calorie foods. That means a tired week can make the exact same walking plan feel less effective, when really the biology around it changed. Aim for 7 to 9 hours when you can. Help yourself with a 10-minute morning walk in daylight. That light exposure helps anchor your body clock, which often improves sleep quality at night. Caffeine helps performance for many people, but keep the last dose early enough that bedtime isn't wrecked. And if stress is high, use 1 easy walk per day as a moving reset. Leave the phone in your pocket, breathe in for 4 steps and out for 6 for a minute or 2, and let the nervous system downshift. Less stress means fewer stress-eating landmines. Let's turn all of this into a simple plan you can start today. Begin with a 10-minute calibration walk. Start easy for 2 minutes, then settle into that talk test pace. You can speak in sentences, but prefer not to sing. Your perceived effort is a 5 to 6 out of 10. Your cadence is near that steady, quick rhythm. If you have a wearable, glance once to note your heart rate in that zone. In the last 2 minutes, add a small hill or pick up the pace slightly and feel the difference between brisk and hard. You just taught your body and your brain the sensation we're aiming for. This week, schedule 3 brisk walks of 25 to 35 minutes, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, for example, plus easy walks on the other days. During each brisk walk, add 3 short surges of 45 to 60 seconds, a hair faster every 5 minutes, then return to your steady rhythm. If you're on a treadmill, set a 1 to 2% incline to mimic outdoor effort. If you're outside, choose routes with 1 or 2 gentle hills. Keep your background steps, errands, dog walks, school runs, but don't let them replace the brisk blocks. They are the backbone of your fat loss walking. Track for 1 week, not forever. On your notes app or paper, jot 4 things after each walk. Total minutes, brisk minutes, perceived effort, 0 to 10, and any hunger changes over the next 3 hours. Add your steps if you like, but the priority is minutes at the right effort. Once a week, note your waist measurement at the navel and your average morning weight over 3 days. You're not chasing daily scale drama, you're looking for a trend over 2 to 4 weeks. If weight or waist stalls for 2 straight weeks while your brisk minutes are on track, change one variable. Add 20 to 30 total brisk minutes to your week, or add a small incline to 2 sessions, or tighten your nutrition by 300 to 500 calories per day on average, usually by swapping calorie-dense snacks for protein and fiber options. A few fast fixes for the most common mistakes. First, I bank 10,000 steps but never see changes. Steps are great, they're not the whole story. Make sure 20 to 30 minutes of your day sits at brisk intensity. If that sounds hard, break it into 2 12 to 15-minute blocks, morning and evening. Second, I trust the watch calories. Don't. Use it to track heart rate and minutes, not menu choices. Assume it overestimates and let your actual food choices come from a simple structure: protein at each meal, vegetables or fruit most meals, water before and after walks, and a consistent eating window that fits your life. Third, same route, same pace. Variety without chaos keeps results coming. Rotate 2 or 3 routes, add small hills once or twice a week, or on the treadmill play, with incline 0 to 3% in gentle waves. You'll feel fresher and your body will keep adapting. Footwear and form can make walking feel dramatically better. You don't need special shoes to start, but if your current pair has more than approximately 500 miles on it, about 800 kilometers, or looks squashed, upgrading to a supportive neutral walking or running shoe can reduce hot spots and ankle fatigue. Keep your stride quick and light rather than long and heavy. Think turnover, not reach. Let your arms swing naturally close to your ribs, hands low and relaxed. That mild arm drive helps your cadence stay up without forcing it. If you notice one hip or knee fussy after long walks, add 2 micro-strength moves after your session. 30 seconds per side of a single leg balance with soft knee, then 2 sets of 8 slow calf raises. These tiny drills improve stability where it counts for walkers. Fueling myths to skip. You don't have to walk fasted to burn fat. What matters most is your overall energy balance across the day and week. If fasted morning walks feel good and don't lead to overeating later, great. If you arrive home ravenous and raid the pantry, switch to a small pre-walk snack and you'll likely net better results. Hydration doesn't require chugging gallons. Start the day with a glass of water, sip during long sessions if it's hot, and aim for pale yellow urine as a simple check. Electrolyte packets are fine if you like them, but for most brisk 30-minute walks, water is plenty. Measurement that motivates without obsessing. Pick one primary metric, brisk minutes per week, and one body metric, waist or the fit of a reference pair of pants. Everything else is optional. If data energizes you, cadence and heart rate time in zone are great add-ons. If data drains you, set a 3-song brisk block playlist and walk to the beat. Both are valid. Adherence wins. If you're carrying joint pain or you're returning after a layoff, make your progression smaller. Add 5 to 10 total brisk minutes per week, keep surges to 30 seconds, and prioritize soft surfaces or a treadmill to reduce impact. If you have cardiovascular or metabolic conditions, get the all-clear and intensity targets from your healthcare team. The talk test still works beautifully because it's tied to your own breathing, not someone else's numbers. Clinicians use it precisely for that reason. It scales with you. Let's lock in a quick action plan you can screenshot. Today, perform that 10-minute calibration walk to feel your true brisk pace. This week, schedule 3 25 to 35-minute brisk sessions. Put them on your calendar, with 3 short surges inside each session. Add 2 10-minute strength mini-sessions after any 2 walks. Eat in a modest 300 to 500 calorie daily deficit if fat loss is the goal, mainly by prioritizing protein and fiber and trimming liquid calories and sweets. Sleep 7 to 9 hours when possible, and protect your bedtime by cutting caffeine in the afternoon. Track just 1 week of data, minutes, brisk minutes, effort, and hunger, then adjust 1 dial at a time. Here's a 1-breath recap you can keep in your notes. Walk like you're slightly late. Lock 20 to 30 minutes of true brisk time most days. Progress by about 10% per week in either minutes, pace, or hills. Protect muscle with 2 brief strength add-ons and protein at each meal. And let sleep and stress make everything easier, not harder. According to global and national health guidelines, that steady, moderate effort delivers the bulk of walking's health benefits, and adding structure is what turns it into a reliable fat loss tool. Small upgrades, repeated, quietly change your body and your day. If this helped, drop a comment with your current brisk pace or your favorite route. Share this with a friend who walks but doesn't see results, and subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming short video on 10-minute strength add-ons and the follow-up on protein without counting. This channel is educational and not a substitute for personalized medical care. If you have heart, joint, or metabolic conditions, or any new or worsening symptoms, speak with your clinician to tailor these steps safely to you.